Good morning, everybody. How is everybody today? Whoever, if anybody's in here already, if you could please let me know if you can hear me okay, that would be fantastic. Excuse me. Up and Away Handbag, Class 2. Hi, Cynthia. How are you? Can you hear me okay? Oh my gosh, I gotta try that game. Augensterneline from Germany. Did I say that right? Can I call you August? August? I'm good, thank you. Hi, Judy from Berlin. Wow. Are you guys planning on sewing along with us today or just watching? Very good. How are things? Hi, Catherine. How are things over in Germany? As you can see, I changed my room around a little bit, gave myself a little extra room, took out that table that I had back there for when I was doing that those wing covers for my dad's airplane. I don't need anything to hold the weight for me anymore, so now I can actually almost have a party back here. It's nice. Nice and spacious. So if you're going to be sewing along with me, let me know. I know Cynthia is just watching. Awesome. So for those that are sewing along, what we're going to do is I'm going to show one of everything and then the rest will be homework. Oh, it's cold in Germany. Not too bad here in Canada. We had one snowfall, but it's all gone now. So I'm going to show you first off one strap. So we'll do one strap together. The second strap will be homework. We will do the main back panel today. And then the front panel will be homework. It's done similar, just slightly different because you don't have a zipper pocket on the front, so it's actually easier. And then also for homework, we'll be making your lining panels the way you like to do them, as well as we'll be doing like the foam and everything like that as well. So not too bad. It is definitely more room. Now, that side of my room, so this space here that you see here, this is about half of my room. But I decided at 8 o'clock this morning that I needed to change things around. So everything that I had stashed under the table and everything there is all over there now. So after this, I have a little bit of tidying and organizing to do, but it's good. I just have to, I have to pick better times to get the urge to change things around, but that is okay. Raining in Germany. My brother's headed to Germany. I think in January or February they're going on a holiday there. I think they might be going to Berlin. I'm not sure. So we'll just give it till about 5 after, and then we will get to sewing this. So yeah. So for those sewing along, does that work? How we do half together, because it's just rinse and repeat for the other panels pretty much. So I will show you how to do each of them step by step, and then you'll do the second ones for homework. Sunny but cold there, Cynthia. It's actually lovely here today. I don't know. Alexa, what's the temperature?
Brady's Lenovo smart clock temperature is Celsius.
No. Alexa, what's the temperature in Kamloops?
Right now, in Kamloops, British Columbia, it's 0 degrees Celsius.
So it's 0 Celsius
Today,
here right now.
Expect a high of 3 degrees.
And we're going to 3.
Happy
Yay!
Wednesday.
So yeah, it's 0 here, but we actually have blue sky, so I got a little bit of light coming in here. You can see my lighting in here is not bad. I'm in the basement and my window is halfway up the wall, so yeah. All right, so I'm super excited to be sewing along with you guys, watching or sewing the Pin It Up Patterns Up and Away handbag, which is mine and Anna's from Galaxy Customs. First pattern, we've made this pattern company and have written the one pattern, working on our second. So it is really fun to come in and do a public class to give everybody an idea of what the classes are like on the membership side, as well as show you our pattern, because I love it. Dexter's saying hi. I think he's just barking at Coco. That's Dexter, yeah. He's mad because I've locked him out of the room because he keeps knocking my cameras, but so they may be a little bit noisy because nobody else is home but me, and they tend to misbehave when they're not in my sight, so it's not like Dexter to be barking, so he may be playing with a cat too. Oh my goodness, Dexter. So yesterday was our Dexter's Happy Gotcha Day. 1 year ago, yesterday, we got Dexter. This year's flown by. It's also 1 year ago today, I was flying home from Indonesia. Like, I feel like I was just on that trip with my sister last month, but a year already. It's just crazy how fast time goes. All right, are we ready to get started? I'm just kind of waiting for the chat to catch up. So yeah, anybody popping in, make sure you say hi. Okay. Ooh, everything feels so far away back there. Okay, so I'm going to try to stay in the order of the pattern, which I helped co-write. So let me put it down to my other view here. I said I just changed. There we go. How is that? Is everything good there? Is the angle good? The lighting good? I said I just changed everything around. So now you can kind of see more of my table this way, I guess. But Dexter turned 1 on October 16th. He is a year old, my 95-pound dog. I got hair sticking to my lip gloss. Okay. So first off in the pattern on page 5, we have our purse feet placement. Now I'm not going to install the purse feet with you guys today, but I am going to show you how to do our placement. So for homework, we did interfacing. So we have our Decovil Heavy or heavy stabilizer outside of the seam allowances. We are going to take our pattern piece, and you can see there are 5 places for purse feet, and I went through and I just kind of popped them out with my pen so I can lay this down over top of my piece on the wrong side, and I can mark out where I will be installing my purse feet. So I don't install them with you guys because all of us have different purse feet and how they install is all different. So those are the 5 places right there that you will install your purse feet. While we're here, we're also going to find our long side centers as well as our short side centers of our bottom piece. So I just like to do that with little snips. And then as well on the short sides as well. And that just saves us a little work later on. And it's easier to do this before you install those purse feet. So first step is really easy. So yes, for homework, install your purse feet as per your manufacturer's instructions, as well as go ahead and baste this whole bottom piece once you have those purse feet on to some sew-in foam. Okay, any questions about that, or if that makes perfect sense? I'm sure that's pretty easy. So again, purse feet, and then baste this to foam, and then you can set that aside until next class once you have that all done. So I'm going to throw that in here, all my pieces together. Okay, now next what we want to do is, moving on to page 6, we're going to work on our handles. So I'm just going to do one with you today, and the second one will be homework. Let me find all my pieces. What did I do with them all? I pulled them out and I put them somewhere. There they are. Okay. So this is a handle with a decorative strip. So I'm just going to grab one of my straps and one of my strap accents and put them away because I will do these ones for homework and then we'll do the one together. Again, if I'm moving too fast, please tell me to slow down and I will. All right. So when we cut this out, we already put our center middle line down the middle. I'm going to use double-sided tape. If your machine is sensitive to that, definitely use clips instead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my double-sided tape and I'm going to run it along the two long sides of our strap. I'm thinking with how I've moved things and changed my cameras, we get a much bigger view of the table. So this is really good. I've got to finish cleaning up my studio after still, but hi Frankie, you finished yours yesterday. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you can watch for me making mistakes then. How about that? How did you like making it, Frankie? Make sure you share pictures of it on my Facebook group. Okay, then we're going to take each of the long edges and we are going to fold them over to that center line and press it down or clip along the folded edge. And then do the same with the opposite side. Hi Jade, how are you? Okay. Now I've got to refer to my own pattern so I don't forget anything. Okay, now what we want to do once we have that all done is we want to measure in. Oh, that's okay, Dawn. We want to measure in from each of the short ends 2.5 inches and draw. This is on the wrong side and I'm just using an erasable pen. And then a 3-inch line. So 2.5 and then 3 inches, like so. Do the same on the opposite side, 2.5. So for those of you who are already on my classes, what do you think of this camera angle? I've adjusted things and I think you can see more of my table now. I think it's better. I'm doing good. I changed my room around a little bit here, so. Okay, then what we want to do is in between those marks, we want to draw with your erasable pen a 1/8 line away from one of the folded edges. And this is just going to give us a good idea where to place that accent. So just guidelines. Just in between those marks, like that. You like the new view? Perfect. My machines seem really far away. I took away that table that I had behind the machine because I don't need it now that I've done those wing covers, so yay. Okay. And then You will want to use double-sided tape here, but it won't necessarily be in the top stitching line. It may be a little bit. If your machine is sensitive to the tape, just make sure that you take an alcoholic swab or something and kind of wet your needle, and it'll take off any of that residue. Or I find when I was on my Juki 2010Q, before I got my industrials, I found if I put a little bit of machine oil on my needle before I sewed through double-sided tape, that helped a little bit too. But again, know your machine, and yeah, Dritz Wash Away Wonder Tape is really good too. This tape I'm using is very sticky, but that's okay. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to take double-sided tape, so I'm using 1/4 inch tape, and we want to center it over top of that line. So you want that line to almost be going right down the middle of your tape from line to line. I can have a dance party back here now. Yeah, I could spin, and maybe Dexter will quit knocking things over and everything like that. Okay, so we can set that aside. Give everybody a couple minutes to kind of get that all caught up. How is everybody today for Wednesday? Yay! Let's give you guys a couple minutes there. So these straps look complicated, but they're really not at all. This gives me a moment to let the chat catch up, because I think I'm about 50 seconds ahead of everybody. Yeah, you can definitely see more tables. So I raised my camera up a little bit and expanded the view, and yeah, I think it works good. My table is quite wide, actually. It's 70 inches wide or long. Best straps ever. Now Dawn is, of course, an admin, a member, as well as a tester for the Up and Away handbag, so she loves this bag. You'll see, Cynthia, the decorative strip is smaller. Are you ready to go? Okay, while we're doing this, what I'm going to do is I want to give away a membership to the channel. So this would be for the lowest tier, the Beans Peeps Club. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. No. I have to do it through here. Okay. So we're going to do a random draw. This will get one person who isn't a member already. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to gift 5 now as people come on. So hopefully it gifts them all. Oh, awesome, Frank. I'm glad you love doing it. So this is for the base membership of the channel. So this is randomly choosing some people who are watching. So we have Kathy Carter, Catherine Leslie, Michelle Connor, Maria, and Melissa. Congratulations. You have won the base membership for 30 days to the membership side of my channel. So that won't get you the live classes, but it will get you the live class replays that are 18 months old or older. So you will be able to see that, kind of experience those classes, or some good ones in there, as well as you will get sneak peeks of tutorials that I do specifically of class bags. I will have a couple coming up here pretty quick. But yeah, so welcome, enjoy your free for the month membership, and I really hope you like what you see. Okay, are we ready to go, Cynthia? I think you're the only one sewing along with me right now. If I'm wrong, please do speak up. So what we want to do now is we want to take our accent strip, and we want to put some double-sided tape on one side, one long edge, And it'll make perfect sense. You are welcome, Melissa. Oh, yay, Catherine. So that's perfect base membership for you to get back into her there. Yay. So yes, please do let me know what you think. We have a really great group over on the membership side, and we're always looking for more friends. So, okay, so once we have that, you're going to go ahead and you are just going to fold this in half, bringing together those raw edges. So this is going to be a really itty bitty skinny teeny piece, but we don't want it to be too wide. And bring your edges nice and close together. And Frankie, I'm so happy that once you started sewing this that you couldn't stop. Did you enjoy the unique construction? Oh, Dawn, you're hilarious. So yes, so closer to the end, I will gift another 5 memberships for those who are still hanging in here. So yeah. So get this nice and even as you can. Now this raw edge is going to be hidden within the strap. This is kind of like a faux piping. Kind of done the same way. So Cynthia, let me know when you're all done folding that up and together. There's really only one tricky part of doing this, but I'll show you when we get there. Okay. I just love the glitter vinyl. You see that? Ooh. So give it a couple minutes there. Done? Perfect. Okay, this is the fun part. So now we're going to take off this piece of tape here. And that 1/8 of an inch line that we drew there, we want to stick it so the raw edge goes along that line. So we'll stick it, but we'll come back and we're going to veer this edge a little bit, but right now just go ahead and line that raw edge up nice and even with that 1/8 of an inch line. You want to keep this as straight as possible so you have, I can't talk and do this at the same time. So you have equal amounts showing over. I'll show you what I mean here momentarily. Sorry if you're seeing the top of my head. Okay. So you can see how that's giving you a nice kind of faux piping look on the right side. Okay, we'll see you in a moment, Dawn. And then right where we did those lines here, you're just going to take the end of it, and at that 3-inch line, you're just going to veer it up like so, veer it up in between those lines. So you can see how this kind of goes bloop inside. So just at that 1/2 inch mark, go ahead and veer it up on both sides. Veer it upwards. Just like so. Hi, Diane. Diane was another tester for this bag, so many people in this group have already made it. If you're planning on making it, let me know. I would love it if you guys made our pattern. And we want you to love it as much as we do. Anna would be here sewing with us, who is my partner in crime for Pin It Up Patterns. But of course, she works Monday to Friday at her day job, and we don't have days off together. So. Okay, so you can decide if you want to use more double-sided tape on the other side. You definitely can use clips, but I'm going to use double-sided tape and clips, and I'm just going to put my double-sided tape across the other side. I live and breathe double-sided tape, but it's not really necessary. You can just use clips if you want to as well. Again, I'm on an industrial, so I can sew through it. I know my Juki could somewhat, my Juki 2010Q somewhat. You just kind of had to know what its limitations were. Okay, now this is the trickier part. It's not too bad. But what we want to do is we want to fold the folded sides of the main handle as even as we can get the folded lines. So that accent piece is going to hang over, but you want to make sure that the front and back of our main is matching up nicely because we're going to be stitching through it. So make sure it's nice and even here with that accent hanging over, because we want to make sure when we're top stitching this to finish it off that it's catching both the top and the bottom. So you want them to be as even as they can. So this side and this side, you want them to line up. I kind of just use my fingers to do that. Oh, there's Rhonda. Rhonda is another one of the testers. She has made it as well. So for those of you that aren't members, see the little symbol beside everybody's name? That means that they are a member of the channel. So those who just won now will have a symbol as well. And the color is based on how long they have been a member. So Rhonda and Diane and Dawn have been members for a very, very long time with their red star. And new members have a blue star, I believe. Okay. So again, you could definitely be using clips to hold this instead of the tape if you wanted to. I'm going to go in with clips after as well because I just double whammy myself that way. I do not want it to shift, and sometimes my machine gets away from me, but right now I'm just concentrating on getting that line nice and straight. Making sure there's no raw edges showing of the underneath piece. How do you become a tester? Currently, we have enough testers, but if at any time that we are looking for more testers, we will do a call out. Oopsies. See, I'm not working fast enough. My tape is giving away. So yeah, for the handles, this is the hardest part just because you want to make sure everything is going to be caught. No raw edge of that accent piece is going to be showing through. It's just a little bit tedious, but so worth it for the final effect. So take your time. It's worth the effort to do this. So once again, the second strap will be homework for next week. Okay, and I'm going to go back in with clips as well, just because my tape is giving out. Hi, Kim, how are you? You guys see how pretty that's going to look? Again, I'm kind of using my fingers to kind of feel that they're nice and even. Usually straps are my fast thing, but I want these ones to be perfect, so I'm taking my time with them. Plus, this is a client bag, so I don't want to make any mistakes. I have an order for this bag and 6 others. I've been selling so many of these to my clients. They're all going on trips. This is like the perfect carry-on bag or large handbag, and yeah. Kim, you're making this one, are you not? You're planning on it? I know you're super busy with work. Okay, I can feel... Oh, no, we're okay. Alrighty. So once we have that all in place, you can kind of see how that's going to look. I'm going to start with this side, and with an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, I'm going to top stitch this side. And that'll just secure that in place, and then I'm going to top stitch the folded edge, and that'll be a strap done. So let me just switch my cameras around. This is a test to see if I set my cameras up right. Let me know how is it brighter? Is it lighter? Is it good? Okay, so I'm not going to be able to see the screen for a moment as I'm at the machine doing this. So let's go and sew this up. So again, you want to go down. I'm actually going to start my stitch on the end here because I like to compress my end. Put it to your top stitch length. I'm going to start on a short end and do my back stitch there. And then I'm going to, just like we do any other strap, top stitch with 1/8 of an inch, and be very aware that our main part of the strap that is sandwiching that accent piece are nice and even. So take it nice and slow. I'm going to make sure that my tension is okay. Oh, she's perfect. Good girl, Tiffany. My machine's name is Tiffany. I'm just going to double check that I'm catching both layers, and I am. So you're going along the main strap. You're not top stitching along the accent. The accent is hanging out the other side. Make sure I'm still catching everything, and I am. Like to double check. Beautiful. Double check still, just kind of checking. Once I get to the other side, it's pretty easy because they are already matched up. It's just sometimes with that accent, you don't know. Make sure it's veered off at those marks. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. So I'm going to go across the short end and then top stitch up the opposite side. Now we like to put the straps at the beginning of our pattern because that's when you know you have a full bobbin. So there's nothing worse than starting a strap and then you run out of bobbin partway through the strap. So you'll find in our patterns we will always do that strap first. She's purring like a kitten because I just put fresh oil in her. That was a busy morning. Got up at 4 a.m. and did all sorts of stuff. Done. Looks good and bright. Excellent. Okay. There we go. I will show the strap up close. One second here. Let me just make this brighter. And that is what it looks like on both sides. So it gives a really nice, you can see how it's going to be as a strap. You have your accents. It's so pretty. So you can either leave these edges raw, you could edge paint them. For homework, I will be putting on, I like to use my strap ends from Emmeline Bags. There we go. Any questions about the strap? What do you guys think about that? I like it. It's a nice fun pop of color. Just want to make sure everything was caught good, and it was. So yes, so the second one will be for homework. I'll put this back up to my face for a moment. Looks good. I love it with that glitter. So I'm using a pearl vinyl from Galaxy Customs and then her Pinup Pink glitter vinyl. Alrighty. So we'll give it a couple minutes so everybody who is sewing along can catch up. Again, second handle will be, or second strap will be for homework. So that takes us to the end of page 6. And then we will be on page 7. I mean, you will need your main back panel and your foam. Again, I'm just going to do one panel with you guys today. The other panel will be for homework, just to save time. We only got 2 hours to get through it all. So I'll get prepped here. I'll be using Pretty in Pink Sew Foam from Galaxy Customs. So again, you will base the foam onto that bottom piece once you have your purse feet all installed. And now I'm going to show you some amazing, okay, I'm a foam girl. Everybody knows this. I mean, I do use Decovil Lite and all of that, but Decovil Lite and I are not friends. I can never get it to stick properly, no matter if I use a press or how I iron it. It just is not my friend, and I like the squishy bags. So Anna, who is my partner in crime, who wrote this this pattern with me, is also an upholsterer, and she has taught me so much with sewing with sew-in foam. Don't be scared of sew-in foam. I'm going to show you how to make it so it's not bulky in the seams, completely domestic friendly. Yeah. So I can't wait to show you that. All right. So we'll just wait for Cynthia to let me know if she's got everything prepared there. I'll put this back down to my table. It's just a scrap piece of foam. Okay. Again, this is a Pretty in Pink glitter from Galaxy Customs. I'm a thirsty girl, holy. All done. Okay. Now, this is going to seem a little bit different, okay? But just bear with me because this is how we are going to make it so our foam isn't too thick in those seam allowances. Now, even on an industrial, I want to make it so the foam in my seam allowances is not super thick because they get that kind of bulky look. You don't want that. So I'm going to show you how to avoid that. I was going to say something else. I don't remember. Anyways, lay it out on your foam. So you can use Pillow and Flex foam. You can use Soft and Stable. This is, I do not use fusible foam, mainly because I find when you turn a bag, and it's the same with Decovil Lite, when you turn the bag, sometimes it comes unstuck. Sew-in foam does not come unstuck, and there's nothing worse is when it gets all wrinkly. So this is why this is my favorite thing to do. So you're going to lay it out, okay, and you're going to cut, and you're going to leave about 1/4 to 1/2 inch bigger for the foam around your piece, okay? So you're not going to be, you're using your main piece as your template, but once I get it past this, see how I'm cutting my foam slightly larger? That's what we want to do, and that's what's going to make this trick a lot easier to do. You can do the exact same thing when you do your bottom piece. Okay, let me get this out of the way. Again, this is an upholsterer's trick, and it's genius. So then I'm going to take my clips and see it's about 1/4 inch bigger. It's good I'm using the pink foam because you can kind of see the difference. Hi, Nicole. How are you? Now, I must give Nicole, who is another one of my admins and is a tester for this pattern as well. This bag I'm making, is going to look exactly like her tester bag that she did for the pattern, because my client saw it and fell in love with hers. So I asked Nicole if I could steal her vision, and it's just gorgeous. So thank you, Nicole, for sharing your vision so my client can have the bag. I believe you kept this one for yourself, didn't you, Nicole? The one you did in the glitter? Okay, I'm going to go up the other side here. And there's one more trick we're going to do before we base this on, because we're going to have a nice decorative accent band on this as well. So we're going to want to reduce the bulk in another area. Oh, I hear you, Michelle. I used to use my serger all the time to put on foam, and then that condenses it really good. That's definitely another way to do it. But my serger and I are not friends. Now, I will admit, I bought my serger on Marketplace for $20, and it doesn't stay threaded, and it doesn't work very well. And I think it's called you get what you pay for. So I really need to invest in a serger. But I do not know how to use sergers hardly at all. So I really want to learn how to make clothes. I surely do. Okay. Okay, so once you have that all clipped in place, we are going to make another mark. So you're going to take your erasable pen and so these are arms, okay? We're going to call them arms. From the top of the arm, you want to put a 5/8 of an inch mark with your erasable pen, okay? So 5/8 inch mark there. You see that? And same with on the opposite side. Now the reason we're doing this is we are not going to baste that top part because we're going to cut foam away from there. So we're going to take this to the machine and we are, going to baste it starting on one side, starting at that 5/8 of an inch mark, and go ahead and baste with an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, an 1/8 of an inch away from the edge of the vinyl, okay? So it's like, yeah, you're going to put your needle down here and you're going to go 1/8 of an inch away from the vinyl, basting. Backstitch at that line, go all the way around to the other side and stop at the other side at the 5/8 of an inch line and backstitch. Okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Let me switch this over again. Go. So I'm going to put it to a rather long base stitch. Start at that 5/8 inch mark, back stitch, and baste it all the way around, making sure it's staying nice and flat. Again, we're not going to do that top edge. We're just doing from that 5/8 inch mark to the 5/8 inch mark, all the way around down to the bottom. Almost done. Yep. I think I just made my picture go crooked. I did. That's going to drive me nuts. There we go. And I just pulled my needle out. 1 second. Technical difficulties. Not sure how that happened, but nothing worse than trying to thread a needle when you're live. Oh, I did it. Good. Okay, so we'll go back in there. And then stop. My 5/8 mark went away, so I'm just going to guess it. Okay, right there. Alrighty. Have a great day, Kim. All right. So we can take these clips off at the top now. Just going to see, we do not have the top basted, but we're basted all around the sides with everything a little bit bigger. I'm going to put my marks on again because they erased. Give everybody a minute or so to get to that point. Now, talking about sergers, does anybody have any recommendations for sergers? I've heard air feed, sad thing, is a good thing, but I think they're super. The 5/8 leave top unsewn. Yep, so you only want to sew to just 5/8 and you're leaving the top unsewn. Okay, now before we trim anything off, just along this top edge, just go ahead and even up that foam to the top of the vinyl. Don't worry about the rest for now. We're going to flip this over. I'm going to actually put it upside down because it's going to be easier to draw a line. And then we're going to take our pen and we're going to draw a 5/8 of an inch line away from the top. So this is the top that I have facing down. Am I doing that right? Let me just double check. Oh, sorry, 3/8 of an inch. So 3/8 of an inch from the top of the foam. 3/8. 3/8. Doesn't have to be exact or perfect. This is just going to reduce some of the bulk when we go to put that top zipper band on. So this line will come to slightly above that 5/8 of an inch stitch that we did. Okay. Where are my scissors? So what we're going to start with first is making sure you're not cutting your vinyl, you're only cutting the foam. And this is why we didn't sew right to the top here, is so we can go ahead and just cut away the foam along that 3/8 line that we drew. See? You can see where my vinyl is there. This is part of making that zipper that we're going to do on this that folds over be magical. So this just makes it so it helps get that really cool shape when we get there, takes away some of the bulk, makes it completely domestic machine friendly, and takes away that foam bulk. So that is what we have so far. Hi, Arnetta. Yay! Michelle has 3 different ones, all vintage, Singer, Bernie, and an older Juki. Okay, now we're going to trim off this excess, and this is the thing that Anna taught me. So because we left extra on the edges, that gives us something to be able to hold onto, and we can pull that foam nice and tight along that baseline. You're going to take your scissors kind of like this. I've heard people say to use duckbill something. I think that you use in quilting duckbill scissors. That would help too. I don't know if that's the name. But you're just going to take your scissors, and again, I'm not cutting the vinyl, I'm just cutting the foam. And trim as close as you can to that stitching. And look how thin it is. See? Thin compared to here. Isn't that magic? So now we're going to go and do that all the way around. So again, grab onto that excess foam, pull it nice and tight, put your scissors kind of flat like this, and cut it without cutting your main exterior. Nice and flat. It's like this was the best thing she ever taught me. Again, look at how thin that is. And I do all of my foam that way. So there is a trimmed edge compared to an untrimmed edge. Huge difference. Get the air threader? Okay, Nicole. Maybe you can go shopping with me next time you're in Kamloops. So go ahead and trim that all the way around just like that. Has anybody, well, I know those in my class have done this because this is how I teach it, but has anybody trimmed their foam this way? My scissors are nice and sharp, so I can just actually slide them. Cuts away that foam like butter and gives us a nice and compressed and thin edge there. Ta-da! Isn't that magic? Can you see that? How thin it is right along there compared to along there? Before, after. So all of this is illustrated on page 7. You will baste your foam the same way to your bottom piece as well as your other main panel. I'm going to do the back panel with you today just because it has an extra step than the front panel, and then the front panel will be homework. It's pretty much rinse and repeat except for we're not putting in a zipper. So this does take a little bit more time, but I swear it is completely worth it, and it makes your seams so beautiful, makes it completely domestic machine friendly, and yeah. Again, choosing your exterior fabrics that work well for your machine. Again, know what your machine can handle. I have a 1541 and a 1341, so the world is my oyster when it comes to materials. Oh, Catherine, you did upholstery like this too. So yeah, you understand this upholstery trick. It's amazing. I'm so happy Anna taught me how to do this. And with the foam folded over and all other layers, couldn't sew it all. Next bag I made, cut the foam back so when you drop in lining was finished, I didn't have a fold over. Nice. Nicole always trims her foam like this too. Amazing. It is so good. I wish I had learned this technique sooner. I've been doing it for about a year now, so. Anna will be watching this back later and be like, oh, Brandy. Hi, Anna. Everybody say hi to Anna. She's not there right now, but she will watch this on her days off. Show her some love. I can tell you the appliques on this pattern were all Anna's design. They are perfection. They made the bag. There we go. So it should be all nice and even now. And then my last thing I'm going to do, because I don't want this flopping around, I'm actually going to put some double-sided tape on the inside and stick it down to hold it in place for now. It'll get caught in the top stitching later and hold it down, but this will just make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Oh, there's Jade saying hi to Anna, even though she's not here, but she will be. Arnetta says hi to Anna. Anybody that says hi, I will read it out so Anna feels like she's with us. We will have I'm sure in the future we will do a class, a public class of maybe our next pattern with the two of us in here, but she is working a ton at her other job right now, and then having the Galaxy side and then the designing side, because we are working on our next pattern. Michelle says, hello, future Anna. Cynthia says, hi, Anna. She'll love that. Awesome. Any questions? Put that tape away and just let it, oops, the tape is sticking to my fingers. And just let it fall where it wants to fall. And then that tape, that foam won't move. Perfect. Just like that. Easy peasy. Dawn says, or Diane says, hi, Anna. So we're already done page 7. Okay. So we can also, while we have this here, find our top and bottom centers and snip them. How many foam did you? A top 3/8 of an inch, Cynthia, from the top. And my bottom center. It's looking good. We can set this aside for now. And put this back up to face for a little bit. Give about 5 minutes for everybody to catch up, and then we will move on to the connectors and the back applique. So I'm going to pull out all my pieces so I'm ready. Connectors. Oh, another thing you will put foam onto is your exterior gusset pieces for homework as well. So all of your exterior pieces you will put foam on. Okay? For homework next week. Alrighty. Yay! Feels weird. I'm really not used to sewing live during the day. I don't do many live sews on the public side at all. All right, so while we're waiting, if I can find it. I'm going to gift. Oops, what's this? It's got pop-ups happening to me here. Oops, what's going on? I lost my chat. Bear with me for a moment. Live chat. I'm doing perfect. Well, that's good. Okay. And I am going to gift my final 5 memberships. So hopefully there's 5 people who aren't members in here. We will see who it chooses. Let's see. Kirsty, Feisty Lady, Marjath, L, 2, 3. Is that right? Kirsty, Feisty, Rena. Congratulations. That is a gift from me to you. Random draw for the base membership, the Beans Peeps Club, which will give you access to that membership level, and that'll be all of the live class replays that are 18 months old and older. I know, Michelle. I think what happened when it used to take so long to go out before was it was in beta and they fixed it all. So yes, so that was 10 people. Again, I will probably do that again next week. Next week will probably be our final class for this, and I will give away another 10 base memberships for 10 more lucky people for the holidays. So congrats. Welcome all, and I hope you like what you see. Again, that base membership does not get you access to the live classes that that are going actually right now. They're pre-recorded classes, but they don't get you access to the Tuesday, Thursday classes that are current for this month and for next month. But they give you the replays for everything that is 18 months and older. So it gives you a kind of a free while to go through some of those classes. There might be some that you like in there. I do have them all separated by playlists, and it also gives that level you get a sneak peek to any tutorials that I am making for the classes that release at the end of the class months to the public side. So this month you will see, I'm not quite done it yet, I'm almost done, but the Glam and Go by Sew Yours tutorial will be exclusive to the Beans Peeps Club membership side of the channel until that final class is filmed. And then next month, that'll also give you a sneak peek of the Yorna by Sewing Arts and the Lamanza Wallet by Country Cow tutorials that I will be doing that are exclusive to members until classes are done as well. So I'm generous. I just want everybody to come and sew with me. I do, and I appreciate my members so much, because the memberships do allow me to do this full time, and I really couldn't do it without all of you. And it's like one big happy family, because I know not everybody has time to do the membership classes, and not everybody has the means to do the membership classes, but you want to take part in everything. So the membership classes kind of give me my wage that I need, as well as my custom orders, which enables me to also do free videos for the public side of the channel. But also as a member, I'm at your beck and call. You have questions during the week about one of the classes we're doing, or any of the pre-recorded classes, you shoot me an email or a message on Facebook Messenger, and I'm yours to help you out. So there's been many times I FaceTimed with people to help them through stuff. So I'm here to help. All right. How are we making out, Cynthia? Are we ready to move on? I'm just getting everything laid out here. We're ready to go. Alrighty, I'm going to put this back down to table down, and we are going to start working on our connectors. So I'm going to grab my double-sided tape. You ready? We have our 4 connectors and the center line already down the middle. So I'm going to put my double-sided tape down that middle for all 4. I'm actually only going to do 2 of them with you guys, because we're only doing the one side. You could do the other 2 for homework. I just want to get through all of this. We have an hour, so we're doing good. Fold it into that center line. Again, you can use clips instead of tape too. Same with the opposite one. Now, I'll leave it up to you. You can go ahead and top stitch these if you like. We don't have it in the pattern because Anna and I both preferred the seamless non-stitched look. It just kind of gives it a nice clean look, and it's going to be held in place anyways when we go to put it on to the overlay. So fold them in half with wrong side up. I'm going to just take a little bit, again, you can use clips anywhere I am using the tape, okay? I'm going to just take a little piece of tape and put it along the bottoms of each. And then I'm going to take a rectangle ring. Look, I'm getting messy. I cannot stay neat and tidy no matter how much I try. And you're going to put your rectangle ring and then bring the connector wrong sides together, sticking it just like so, matching up those raw edges. So this is what you got. The same with the opposite one. So you will do this with all 4, but I'm only doing the one side with you guys. And then you want to take your marking pen, and from the raw edge, you want to mark up a 1/2 inch from the bottom raw edge. Making sure it's nice and straight. I'm not quite straight, so I'm just going to trim it up a little bit. 1/2 inch. And draw your line. Same with the other one, 1/2 inch. Okay, and while we're waiting, I'm just going to put a clip on the bottom just to make sure my tape doesn't pop. And then I will wait for everybody to catch up. Let me know when you're ready, and then we will move on to this part. And this part, you will want to use double-sided tape, but you are going to keep it outside of the seam allowances if your machine is sensitive to it. You'll put it like between 1/8 and 1/4 inch away from where you will be top stitching. So, hi Kathy. That's okay. We're happy you're here. You ready? Perfect. Okay. Now, you're going to take your overlay. So this is the overlay on the back, which you could also have it on your front. It's whatever you like, but it's the one that has the zipper, okay? So we're going to put it wrong side up. And you are going to take your template, rear applique template. Now I've gone and I've cut little slits in my strap placement here. You're going to see that this measures 1/2 inch, okay? So I just put little slits there so I could fold it down at that line to make it easier for marking. So then I'm going to lie this down nice and centered, and I'm going to mark on the back with my pen. That little thing there. Now we're not cutting out. This is just a guideline to where we're going to put those connectors here momentarily. The front applique piece has the same marks. Okay. So it looks like that. This one looks like it's a little off, but it's because, yeah, it'll be fine. Okay. Then we're going to take our double-sided tape. There we go. Actually, not quite yet. We are going to take our connectors, and on the opposite side of where we put that line, we're going to take a little bit of double-sided tape, because we definitely don't want this to move, and put it right along the bottom. Put this one on this one. Double-sided tape is your friend. Okay. Flip it back over. And that 1/2 inch line that we drew on this, we want that to match the top raw edge of this overlay, and we want to put it right where we drew those little lines. And then stick it down. I guess you could use clips here if you wanted to, if you want to just clip it to it. But you're going to go like that and do the same with the opposite one. Now it's important to have at least a 1/2 inch hanging down there, because this is going to be holding the straps, and you want to have a space that's big enough to put a rivet for extra security. This one too. Before I do anything else, I'm just going to flip it over, and you can kind of see, make sure they're nice and even, which mine are. Flip it back over, and then we're going to do a zipper overlay just like you do any zipper overlay. So I'm going to take my double-sided tape, and just along the raw edges. Now these sides are going to get stuck in the seams, so we just need them along this top edge here. You're going to go over top of the connectors as well, all the way across like so. Again, if we are going to be top stitching this at 1/8 of an inch, so if your machine is sensitive to the double-sided tape, make sure you're putting your tape just a little bit lower than where we will be top stitching. and same with along the bottom edges. Now I have my edges all edge coated and stuff. Make sure you're using a non-fraying fabric if you're doing this, because these do have raw edges. This is my favorite way of doing pockets. It's the overlays. Just like so. Okay. And then we're going to want to pull out that piece we have basted onto foam. I'm going to go ahead and tidy this up a little bit. And you're going to need a ruler. I'm working really hard to try to keep my table looking clean for you guys. Okay, so everybody let me know when you're ready there. Funny, I'm reading my pattern just to make sure I get my everything right. Tell how pretty this is going to look already. You ready, Cynthia? Or is that an old ready? Look at all those member stars. Makes me so happy. Okay, so this should be pretty much the same width as our bag here, so we know things will be centered. We want to take our ruler from the top, and you want to lay it nice and even at 4.5 inches from the top. Let me double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Yeah. Okay. So make sure it's nice and straight along there. You're going to take the tape or the backing off of the tape along the top side first. And we're going to line not the top of these, but the top of the overlay up nice and even with the ruler. So our connectors will be up on the ruler. And just make sure it's nice and taut, or nice and from edge to edge, nice and straight. Stick it down. Stick it down. Not quite there. So one thing nice about the tape is you can pull it up and do it again if it goes off kilter. This is a focal point of the bag, so you want to make sure it is perfect. 4.5. That's better. And stick it down. Okay, so you can see how my connectors go above the ruler, but this line is right along the top of the ruler, and stick it down. Okay. Once you have that in place, go ahead and take the backing off of the bottom side. You wouldn't believe the amount of double-sided tape paper I have on my floor. That and thread everywhere. Okay, and then you're just going to kind of let this fall where it wants to fall. And it should go exactly where you want it to go. And stick it down in place, like so. Then we're going to take this to the machine, and we are going to top stitch 1/8 of an inch away from this top of the overlay. We're going to go across. I'm actually going to start on this side just so I can do my back stitch in here. Up, across the top, down to baste it on the sides, and then here, making sure when you get to these sharp corners that you're putting your needle down before you pivot, okay? High-pitched squeal again, so weird, I only heard it on your lives. Very weird, I have no idea. Is it gone now though? That high-pitched sound? I wonder if it's my cameras. Maybe there's, I don't know. When I do my pre-records using my iMovie, it doesn't do it, so I don't know what it is. At least it's not consistent, so I don't know. I put a ticket into YouTube and they don't know, so it is what it is. Maybe it's just a little bit of feedback or something. I don't know. No idea. Okay, so put it to your top stitch length. Make sure your tension is good. Make sure you have lots of bobbin. I'm going to check my bobbin, but I'm pretty sure I'm good. Yep. And go ahead and top stitch around the perimeter of it. Oops, I should have started where the connectors were, but it doesn't matter. The tape will hold it. Make sure your needle's down before you pivot around. Can't see the chat momentarily, so I'll check it when I get back to the table. Okay, face the other side. Now, depending on how your machine handles thickness, you may need a hump jumper to get over the connectors. There we go. She's pretty. I was thinking it was my microphone, so now I took out my microphone. I'm not using it. I only use it when I do voiceover now, and I'm using the microphones from my camera now, so I don't know. I don't know. One day it'll get figured out, I guess. So this is what it looks like from the wrong side. And it gives it this nice kind of squishy vintage feel, like vintage car seats. Now my overhead camera, this one, can you guys let me know, does it always happen when I'm at the table or does it happen when I'm at the machines as well? Because when I'm at the machines, my mic switches to one of those camera mics. But this camera here, that's above me, right here, is an older camera. And if it's happening at the table, I'm thinking it's this camera. Table only. So I bet you it's this camera. Interesting. Interesting. So yeah, hopefully, not much is going on. Because I turned off, I took my Yeti mic out of here. I only use it for tutorials, so. when facing the table. So yes, I bet you it's this older camera. I'm not quite to the point where I have $200 to buy another camera for there, so it'll be what it will be for now. I know maybe when I'm talking louder, when you switch to machine, the volume is a lot lower, harder to hear. Ah. I gotta see if I can figure out how to adjust the volumes then on those mics. I will look into it and see what I can figure out. Okay, good feedback. I wonder if it continues with this mic or is it my, I don't know which mic it is now. I'm confused. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I put my machine is further back now, but my mic is in the same spot. Like my camera didn't move, so I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay, so now what you're going to do with this is you're going to go, actually, no, I don't think we do this yet. One moment. No, we don't do it yet. Okay, so for the front side, you're going to do this exact same thing, except for it's a different applique that doesn't have the zipper section on, okay? So you're just going to do it around the outsides, and then it will be done besides putting rivets, because we'll end up putting rivets here and here. You want to make sure your rivets are catching that 1/2 inch that's hanging over, and backing those with little scraps of Decovil Heavy so they don't pull through. It doesn't happen that often, no. Okay, so now we are going to move on, and we are going to prep this for the zipper pocket. Are we ready? So we want to make sure we're not cutting the overlay, but we want to cut the foam and the vinyl that's in that zipper pocket out of the way. So I'm just going to take my rotary cutter, go part way in, and I'm going to cut through all the layers. But I'm not going to go all the way through because I don't want to accidentally cut anything. Once I got my slit going, I'm going to go in with my scissors, and I'm going to put my scissors underneath. See, it's underneath my applique, but it's through my foam here. And I'm kind of cutting these out underneath that applique. So I'm only cutting the foam and that exterior vinyl. So you see me go under and cut up a V. Same with the other side. Under and cut up the V. But making sure not to cut all the way to the end at the same time. Flip it over, and you can see we want to cut away. I'm going to cut the foam away first. And this is just making it so our zipper is easy to install and not too bulky. Cut the foam away on the top. On that note, I'm going to leave you guys homework to do your lining zipper pocket. It's the exact same process, except you don't have to cut away the foam. You'd only be cutting away the cotton. So you will do your zipper pocket with overlay, leaving the bottom of your zipper pocket of the lining open for homework. Okay. Now that that's done, I'm going to pull just where my glitter vinyl is. You can see my overlay there. I'm just cutting away excess exterior vinyl, not the overlay. Trim all that away. Don't trim your connector ends there. You want those to stay where they are. Just that excess. Oh, Dawn, I'm jealous. I want Starbucks. Okay. So once you have that trimmed all out of the way, I'm going to take my double-sided tape. Again, you can hold the zipper in place when we get to it, but I always use the tape. And just around that rectangle, again, you can see here I'm putting my tape up from at least just over 1/8 of an inch away. That is for those who have sensitivities to double-sided tape, to make sure you're not top stitching through that double-sided tape. Put it across. and one along the bottom. You can go ahead and you can set this aside for now, but this is what that looks like. Okay. Now we want to prepare our zipper lining and our zipper tape. So there's my zipper tape and my back zipper pocket lining pieces. You can see I have selvage showing here, but that's going to be in the seam allowances, so I'm not worried about that. Okay, we're almost done with the back panel, sort of. We got this to do and one more thing after this. So I'm going to take a double-sided tape and put it along both sides, two long sides of my pocket lining pieces. And we're going to finish much of this pocket at the machine once we get this set up. So just take one of them, it's right side up. Take your zipper, which is also right side up, and stick it down. So right side up and right side up. And I'm going to show you guys a trick that I learned. Normally I would press this open, but I learned something from Barb of Jeannie's Designs that I just do it all the time now. So we're going to take these to the machine. We are going to stitch across here with about 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. We're going to open it up. I'll show you at the machine. So let's go take this to the machine and I'll show you what we're going to do. And I'll try to talk louder over there. So you guys will have to let me know if it's better. Okay. I'm just going to take a quick look here to see if I have anything for sound. I don't know. Okay, so I'll try to talk louder over here. So hopefully you guys can hear me. And I'll have to look into that. Okay, so we're going to go about 1/4 of an inch away and stitch across. Now this is something I learned from Jeannie. I'm going to try to show it here. So I'm going to flip it up. Normally I would take this and I would press it, but I'm flipping it up so the wrong side of that lining we just sewed on is face up, and I can finger press that seam like so. So this is the right side of the zipper and the wrong side of the lining panel. And then I'm just going to go ahead, rather than pressing it, I'm going to go ahead and sew it. It almost leaves like a top stitch on the inside with 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, and that's going to flatten out my zipper for me. And then I don't have to go warm up my iron. It's so easy. I learned that when watching her video when she was making this bag, actually. Okay, so it looks like that, and then it gives a nice top stitch along here. Then we're going to take the other one. We're going to make sure it's nice and even and stick it. So the other one is right side up and the zipper's right side up. Now our pieces are right sides together. Line it up, stick it down, and then do the same thing, sew across. Open it up, finger press that zipper seam down like that again, and then top stitch that nice and flat. Easy. Such a handy little trick. Thank you so much, Barb, for that trick. Now I don't have to take it to the iron. Alrighty. Isn't it a great trick? I mean, I was watching Barb's video on making the up and away, and I was like, wow, I've been doing this for 5 years, and why did I not know how to do that? Okay, and then all we have to do, I know everybody's done an overlay before, is we just got to make the zipper go on just like any zipper with overlay. So I'm going to make sure my pull is going to the left. I'm going to take my tape off of the top side. And I'm going to make sure it goes nice and centered and where I want it to go. And that I have enough pocket to sew in place on the opposite side. Make sure it's nice and straight. Again, I'm going to make sure I have enough here to sew past the opening, which I do. And I do. Perfect. Once that top part is in place nicely, go ahead and take the paper off the bottom part of the tape. And then stick it nice and straight in place. It's not too bulky because we've taken all of that foam out of there. Make sure it's nice and straight and not wavy. And now we're going to go ahead, and I'm actually going to pull my threads long and tie them off in the back, and we're going to top stitch that zipper in place all the way around. Once again, making sure that you are fanned out like this. Okay. Okay. Pulling my threads long because I'm not going to back stitch. I'm going to tie them off. Make sure we're looking good, and we are. Okay, and while I'm here, I'm going to pull that on the bobbin thread and pull the top thread through for tying off later. Oh, there we go. And continue on. Move that zipper out of the way. Then I'm going to make sure when I get to the end that my last stitch, the needle lands in where my first hole when I started stitching ends or began. Gives us a nice seamless line. Pull your threads long, hold on to your threads so you know which one is the bobbin thread we need to pull the top thread through. Give it a tug, pull that top thread through. Say that 10 times fast, top thread through. And I like to tie mine off in 3 or 4 knots. Go. And because I'm using a bonded thread, I'm just going to burn those ends to create a little melted knot so it won't come unattached. And then we're going to finish this pocket up. So we're going to bring the pocket lining down. And yes, the bottom one is going to be longer, so I'm just going to take my scissors and trim them up so they're the same. Now when you do the lining pocket, make sure you're leaving the bottom of your pocket open for finishing the bag later. But this one we can sew shut. So I'm going to pull my exterior out of the way to expose my lining. I didn't cut that very straight, but that's okay. And I'm going to go ahead. What have I got going on here? Really didn't cut that straight, but that's okay. Pull it out of the way, get as close as you can to where our stitching was for our zipper there, the top stitching. I like to back stitch over top of my teeth a couple times and then go down. Across the pivot, across the bottom. The opposite side. And pivot. Oh, I can go a little further. And up the other side. That's the back pocket done. Okay. Then you can go ahead and trim up your pocket seams to about 1/4 inch. And we only have one more step to do to finish this panel. What do you guys think so far? Isn't she pretty? I wish I had had some zipper tape that matched this, but I think the white looks nice. So we have a functional pocket. And again, you will go ahead and homework will be to put in rivets in those two places, making sure you're catching the connector underneath and then backing your rivets with scraps of Decovil Heavy. I'm just going to trim my foam back a little bit here so it's not sticking out as much right along. There we go. Perfect. Take away some of that bulk. Okay. I'll give about 5 minutes for everybody to catch up. Any questions, comments, concerns so far? That takes us to the end of page 10. And then we just have the zipper band to do for this back one. And again, you're just going to rinse and repeat for the front panel, except for you won't do the pocket part. You'll just do the overlay and the connectors part. Yay! I'm going to be making so many of these the next little while. Holy moly, I have so many on order. Alrighty. How's everybody making out? Just going to see here. Didn't think that looked quite even. I think I might play with my microphones today. Hopefully I won't mess it up. Any questions about anything? Good so far? You can see how that has it so the pocket is sticking outside of the foam, so that gives whatever's in your pocket a little extra cushioning because of the foam that's there. I do. They're actually all to the same person. And it's a girl I went to high school with, and she and her sisters and cousins are all going on a trip to Mexico, and they all want these. So she bought my green one and my blue one that I had. The green one was supposed to stay with me, but she really wanted it. This one's for her mom. And then the other ones are going to be done in moras with mustard and the charcoal mora. So they will all match. So yeah, that'll be many bags in the same vinyls, which will be kind of not fun, but good money. Okay, so let me put this back down. We are almost done for today. Just one more thing to get going. So you want to grab your zipper band, and along one side of it, we are going to make a 1/2 inch line. We don't have this in the pattern doing this. It just helps sew a nice straight seam for me because we're going to follow this line. So I'm going to draw my 1/2 inch line. And this is mainly going to be for a seam allowance guide when I am sewing, because I'll just sew right along this line. Okay. I am going to find my top and bottom centers of this. Yes, she's gifting them. They celebrate Christmas at the end of July when her family and everything can afford to come down. So I have to have the, or end of January, sorry. So I have to have them done by first week of January or so. Okay, so we're going to take the side that we did this 1/2 inch line on, and we're going to put it nice and centered with the top and clip that in place. I got a broken clip in there. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and stitch that in place with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. That's why I drew that line. So I can just sew across that 1/2 inch line and I know I'm getting an accurate seam allowance. And then at the machine, we're going to end up pushing this upwards once that's sewn, and then top stitching through the zipper band to hold that seam in place. Actually, no, that's a lie. Don't top stitch right away. Let's just go sew that. I almost forgot a step. So let's go sew it. Okay. Okay. So that is done, and if we didn't trim back too much foam, you'll see how in that stitching, it pretty much, I missed a little bit here, but it's fine, pretty much caught that foam, so that foam is not going to be flopping and it should be staying in place. Okay, so now what we want to do is, let me double check here. So I might think I'm missing a step. 1 second. Okay. So yes, now what we're going to do is we are going to press this up. I'm actually going to use a little, no, I'll be able to press it with my fingers. We're going to be pressing the seam up and then top stitching through that zipper band with 1/8 of an inch seam allowance all the way across. So I guess we could have done that at the machine, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and do that. The seam is pointing up towards the top of the bag and top stitching through the zipper band with the seam going towards the zipper band. Make sure it's pulled nice and tight. Okay. So that's what she looks like so far. And now what we want to do, once again, to reduce that bulk is, make sure the seam allowance right here. So both layers of it. We want to take it, so we got our exterior, Coco says hi, males here. We have our exterior seam there, and then like that zipper band seam and our glitter seam here. We want to trim both of those down to 1/8 of an inch seam allowance from that top stitch seam. So I'm just going to hold them up like so, take my scissors like this, and trim that up to 1/8 of an inch away from that stitching line. And this is just going to reduce the bulk in the zipper band because this is the part that folds over magically once we get that zipper on. So be careful not to snip the stitches. You just want to take away these layers of bulk and leaving, you can see here, leaving that zipper band visible there. Just like that. And that is the back panel down. So just to give you an idea, once this is on a zipper, these arms are going to come down like so, and that zipper folds over the side like that. All right. So that is it. So for those of you making this for next week, next Wednesday, you will do the front panel the exact same way. Don't forget to do your rivets. Make sure all your exterior pieces are basted to foam, and do your other strap, and then your lining panels, do your slip pockets the way you like it. You can do it as per the pattern. There are a couple different variations of the slip pocket in the pattern that you can follow around and do that, or follow my tutorial and do it that way. And then your lining zipper pocket, you're going to do exactly like we did this one, except for it comes out of the seam allowances, so you'll have to stitch down the sides here. and you will leave the bottom of your zipper pocket lining open for when we finish the bag up at the end. Any questions, comments, concerns? Everybody enjoy this live? I hope so. Let's see, if you are watching this video to the end after the live, or even if you're in the live right now, put some kind of flower in the comments so I know that you were here. That would be great. Thank you for the hearts. Okay, so yes, anyone sewing along, if you have any questions with homework, make sure you reach out to me. My email is down below. You can get me on my Facebook page. I'm here to help you if you need any. No questions. Love the live. Thank you. She's pretty, isn't she? I'm excited. Okay, so I gotta have lunch now, and then I got to finish filming the pre-recorded classes for December. December's the only month. December and July are the months I do pre-recorded classes for the membership side, so I have a little bit of a holiday and try to be off work before noon, because I work 7 days a week, 14 to 16 hours a day. It's just non-stop. But I still got to pre-record tomorrow's class, and I gotta clean up that mess down on that side of the room that you guys can't see because it's a hot mess. All right, thank you everybody for joining me. I love you all, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.